What's a fact that changed your life? We don't need to attend every argument. Or the corollary, you'll never get anywhere if you stop and throw rocks at every dog that barks at you. I've never heard the word corollary before and just looked it up, so thank you for that. You shouldn't argue with stupid, never argue with stupid people. They will drag you down to their level and then beat you with experience. Mark Twain. Most people don't look at you, they're too busy living their own lives. I stopped giving a care about people when I realized this. Now I do what I want as long as I don't hurt, disrespect, or cause any pain to others. I used to struggle with women a lot until I did some self-reflection and realized that the only common denominator in all my messed up relationships was me. I'm so thankful I figured it out when I did. I'd probably be an incel or some shit if that happened today. This hits hard. I spent a lot of time trying to be a man women will like. My perception was so off. When I started trying to be the mind of man a person would want to spend time with, everything fell into place. Can you share some tips in being a man someone would want to spend time with? There isn't a single answer, but for me, it boiled down to being open to new experiences. Before I was resistant to everything. Let's go to karaoke. No, let's do parasailing. No, let's go to a concert. No, for embracing my interests, our hobbies, and engaging with people there. Taking a genuine interest in people, talking less and listening more. I made it a point to just notice something about someone and ask them about it, focusing on the person I am rather than the person I'm trying to be. I'm not a tough guy. I like singing ABBA, pruning the people around me. If someone was interested in spending time with me and treated me well, I spent more time with them. If someone only engaged when I reached out and was a situation friend like a drinking buddy, I spent less time with them. Once I became a genuine version of me and focused on people who were good to me, things kind of fell into place. If you don't love yourself, how in the hell are you gonna love somebody else? Can I get an amen up in here? Taking a look back at your life is like looking in your car's rear view mirror. It's okay to take a glance, just don't stare. Your rear view mirror is smaller than your windshield for a reason. I heard this recently, that my parents are nice people, they are just terrible parents. This helped me forgive them and myself for a lot of things that went on at home. I would say, I love them, but I don't like them. Love is a choice. People confuse love with passion. If someone you love messes up big time, you might be pissed at them, but you can still choose to love them. Being normal doesn't mean you're being like everyone else. Being normal means you are being your true self. People confuse being normal with being common. Life isn't fair. Today's world tries to make everything even and fair, when in reality, life is so much easier if you just ignore people sometimes and be the mature person by saying, you know what, it's okay if someone gets something you don't. Recently, Ish diagnosed type 2 diabetic who had to completely change his diet. For my 6 or 7 trigger foods, I do this mental trick. I don't say I can't have that, I say I don't eat that. Makes it my choice, and that I'm not denying myself. So far, it's working. Down to 331 from 375 in December. If you want to teach someone something, tell them a story. Just because you can buy it doesn't mean you can afford it. I'm capable of being entirely convinced of something false. As a result, anything I'm convinced of doesn't necessarily reflect reality. The one thing we all had in common is that we all think we're right. Now you've gone and fucked it up. There are real-life castles that are less expensive to buy than a New York City apartment. You can actually get a free castle in France as long as you can provide a plan for how to keep up with upkeep of the castle so that it won't become a ruin. There are planets out there without suns, planets that are hurtling through space in absolute total darkness. Imagine being there. When people drive drunk in the countryside, they'll sometimes drive without lights on in order to avoid being spotted in the distance by cops. I feel like there's a comparison to be made between these people and your hurtling planets. From Jim Carrey. You can fail at something you don't want to do, so you might as well follow your dreams. That really spoke to me and inspired me to write music again. Balto only ran the last leg of the route. The dog that ran the longest and most treacherous parts of the route, and at night, was named Togo. Balto toured the US as a hero, but couldn't be bred because he was neutered. Togo's owner was pissed Balto got so much attention, and then his story got out and Togo got to tour the US and was bred like crazy. So most huskies are descendants of the greatest sled dog in history. Most people are too wrapped up in their own lives and insecurities to focus on your little stumbles. Try to think of other people's embarrassing moments. It's actually quite hard to do. And if I do think of something, I don't dwell on it or give it more than a fleeting thought. It's usually no big deal. It's kind of nice to know that no one really gives a shit, and maybe that one cringy thing I once said isn't actually that big of a deal. Related note: when I realized that I would never talk to someone the way I talk to myself, it was a little light bulb moment. Self compassion is a long road. My close friend passed away of a heart attack last night. He was the kindest soul I've ever known, always smiling and full of joy. He was 25 when he passed away. It made me realize that life can literally leave in an instant, and that if I don't use the time I have wisely, then it's just gone. These ain't no T-Mobile rollover minutes. You can't choke an owl. I like the idea that this changes your perspective on life. He's an owl. There are more empty houses than homeless people, that most accidents happen because someone is trying to save only 4 seconds, which in turn have a chance to cost someone's life. My mom always tells me it's better to wait 1 minute than to see your life go in 1 minute. Don't rush things, especially driving or crossing the street just before the light turns green. Press F5 in Minecraft to change from first person, literally changing perspective. What? Want to feel insignificant? The 2004 tsunami in Indonesia had 227,898 people killed or listed as missing and presumed dead. The Earth repopulated that number of humans in 2 weeks. Shows how fast our Earth replenishes humans. Parents are also just random people. I used to work as a postpartum care nurse and realized that my parents were also just random people who don't know everything, but try their best. That was a big one for me. I'm not sure why, but I assumed they were perfect until I discovered they weren't, and then I was mad at them for a long time. Once I realized they were just people like everyone else, I was able to let my grievances go. It helps a lot. When something is free, the product is you. My older sister told me this at like 11 years old, and I've never forgotten it. Really makes you think about social media / the internet / tech and how you interact with it. Product or price? I understand. The price is you is a little creepy, is dramatic, but it also seems more accurate. Unless I'm misunderstanding the use of product here, TV shows are on for free to make you watch the commercials. I'd add social media to that on average. You have up to 80,000 thoughts a day. 85% of them are negative, 93% are repetitive. If you go on your phone a lot in the morning, don't use your phone until around 12 p.m. in the afternoon unless it's absolutely necessary, because that completely changed my habits. It forces you to get out of bed and actually get shit done. From there, just add on other good habits to your daily routine, like working out or reading book, and you'll feel so much better and productive. My coworkers gave me this advice when I was going through a breakup with my son's father. To get what you want, you have to get rid of what you don't want. Get rid of friends who aren't supportive, be choosy about who you date, explore different careers, and get rid of the job you hate, if that applies to you. Every aspect of my life, job, house, spouse, changed in 2 years, and the changes were all positive. During each day, you do lots of things. You change bad things to better things and keep good things. That's a daily way, and it changes your life. Another thing to do is to have a long-term goal and to use time during your days to go towards that goal. Reaching that goal and things along the way change your life.